MovieWeb.com.
So how did you get into this character's head, like Chris's head, journey?
You know, I tried to just learn as much as I could about him, you know, through the family. I got to meet with Walt and Billy McCandless, Chris's parents, and Corrine, Chris's sister. Started to, you know, try to read a lot of the philosophy that Chris was reading at the time. You know, there's Walden by Henry David Thoreau and you know, Essays and Poems by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So there was that kind of philosophical background. And The Call of the Wild by Jack London was really important. You know, it kind of, a lot of these books I felt really kind of started my appetite for adventure, you know, and that wanderlust that exists within us all that I feel is one of the big appeals to the book and now the film. You know, if McCandless had you know, personal problems and just ran off next door and, you know, built train sets, no one would have cared. It's the adventure that he had is what kind of, I think, amazes people.
Now, from what I understand, you got to wear some of his actual clothes when you were in Alaska in his backpack?
Not his clothes, his watch. He had a gold watch that he gave to Jim Gallion when Jim Gallion let him off on the Stampede Trail 14 years before. And in the film, Jim Gallion plays himself dropping me off onto the Stampede Trail, and he came to set and he actually had a gold watch that Chris McCandless had given it to him 14 years before. So he gave me the gold watch because he thought I should wear it. So I had the gold watch, and it really, I felt like it was like it kept me safe.
Cool. So did you get understanding why Alaska was so important to him? I mean, was it because of the Call of the Wild novel that he was so dead set on going to Alaska?
I think that he just viewed Alaska as the biggest challenge on his plate, you know, as the Alaska to him was core survival, you know, core independent survival, that he wanted to test himself, to challenge himself on the hardest terrain that he could find, and that to him was Alaska.
Well, how did you keep the character so accessible when a lot of people are going to look at him as kind of a snotty rich kid who goes off, you know, and some people, well, he deserves what he gets because, you know, he's got all this money and he just burns it. I mean, how do you make so accessible to people who don't feel the character as sort of a privileged child who...
Well, you know, I just tried to play him for who I thought he was, and you know, if people feel that way, they're more than entitled and welcome to feel that way. You know, there's nothing wrong with feeling like that. I don't think that's just a perspective on him. I think other people will feel differently.
Well, I was wondering, did you have to change anything from the reality of the character?
No, I don't feel like I shortchanged or you know, gave McCandless a phone book to sit under at all. You know, to kind of raise him up. I don't think that any of that was going on. And we deliberately, you know, tried to show a portrait of Chris that was warts and all, that, you know, didn't make him look better than he was, because he wouldn't have wanted that. This was a guy who had been running his whole life from stuff that he thought was false, and now that, you know, he was alone on the road, he was looking for truth. Even if it was about himself, he would insist that.
Now, how did you guys go about shooting the scene with the moose? I mean, was that a real moose or was that special effects?
No, that was a real moose. And there was, it was hard, you know, it was very grisly.
I mean, where did you get the moose from? Is it like, I heard you picked up roadkill and learned to script it?
Yeah.